whilst we're casting. That'll be the game. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first game of the second series for today. We've been waiting for this one for a long time, and it's going to be VonIvan playing as his #1 faction, the Soviets, from the south side of Crossroads.
And over on the north side, you've got the mighty Theodosios, the #5 seed, who's going to be duking it out against the #4 seed on this great, illustrious map. A lot of history to it. We've got two great factions, the original vanilla factions of Company Heroes 2. That's Soviets versus the Wehrmacht. Got VonIvan going for his tried and tested, locking it in immediately. That's Lend-Lease with the Dushkas, the M4Cs. People have known to love it and hate it simultaneously, depending on which side of the coin you fall on. But what a great series we have.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And just to point out at the start, even things that people may not have heard about other casts, because we know we regularly have to say these things. The double engineers here, very, very good way of Von being able to get capping power out before the penal battalions, because of course going tier 1, getting that first unit out takes a lot of time. So he's able to utilize 2 engineers very quickly. He's going to start getting these early points capped so that he can start capping around easily with the engineers, take his penal battalion here, get good control of the right hand side, and not lose too much in terms of time on the field, which, as we saw last week or the week before from Aimstrong, took huge advantage of that.
Oh god, Aimstrong was both. It was like watching something traumatic, like a silverback gorilla attack a small child at the zoo. It's sure raw power, but you can't help but be offended and shocked by it. It was horrific. You know, I was like, oh, please God, leave Jesulin alone. It was horrific. He finished him within minutes 3 times in a row, and poor Jesulin, who hadn't practiced, had no choice but to GG in G1 and then controversially GG in G2 and G3, which not a lot of people were unhappy with, but never mind, because we've got a true battle of contenders here. We've got a #5 seed that's never won a tournament, and a #4 seed that's never won a non-continental kind of big tournament. He's won a few of the NA ESLs, has VonIvan. He made a lot of money doing so, but the field was severely limited. It was mostly the Paula versus VonIvan show, in all honesty. So this is his big time to really prove to the rest of the competitive field in Company of Heroes just what a man VonIvan is. So he's got a lot to prove, and Theodosios has everything to prove. So high stakes battle.
Yeah, Theodosios so far this game has made good use of the time that VonIvan's been trying to get on the field. He's building some nice defensive positions there, some barbed wire, making sure that when the Soviets do attack, he's going to be in the advantageous position. And he's going to need to be when those penal battalions do start rolling up the field bit by bit. It's looking like a relatively decent early game. He's going to have the MG for suppression. He's already got the mortar out in the field, which is just about to start laying barrages on the central building, giving vision over the center VP. And he's going to need to clear that quite early on. If he can take it, might give him some good grounds for the early game.
There you go. We've got the first mortar round come crashing down. The third Grenadier in the build, an all-encompassing build. We did speak up about Theodosios' willingness to really utilize as much of the tech tree as he can. He likes to try and get as much army on the field and get mortars, MGs in this case. There'll be no doubt getting tier 2 rather, and it's all about the combined arms play from Theo.
Combined arms, he's going to have to make use of it early as well, because he does not want to let Von get to a situation where he starts rolling things through. We're seeing low health Grenadiers here, so we're going to need to see medical supplies up soon if he's going to be having good engagements, like fair engagements against the penal battalions. He's not going to be walking in with low health squads at any point. You see here, Von's making very good use of the 2 engineers, constantly keeping pressure on the MG and the Grenadiers there. Just pop Flamers on as well. Flamers, looks like, yep, they just target Grenadiers. And look at this attention here.
Oh, that's really good. Got an S-mine. The combat engineers are running through it. Oh, explosions. Nice usage from Theo there. He's going to have to be savvy. He's going to have to be dramatic. He's going to have to do things that Von is not expecting, because the Dushka play and the penal play is extremely powerful. The mortar's firing. If the mortar is able to maintain veterancy, it may prove a thorn in the side of the eventual Dushkas.
Oh, that was a really nice side. I'm still kind of getting over the minefield there. This is a nice little flank trying to pick up all those units on the retreat. Theo's actually got very, very good map control for us there at this starting point. And one thing I really like as well is that he's not necessarily rushing for decap. He plays a very even game. Like, he would rather have the strategic point capped, you know, to his line, so that he can just get extra resources for him rather than trying to deny. So he's very good on the map control in that sense. And yeah, he's an enjoyable austere player to watch.
God, he is. It's his austere and Wehrmacht, as I call it, rather. That has been the big talking point for Theo, but he is an all 5 factions kind of guy. He's one of those players that's very well versed in the game, and when he plays aggressively, like we've already seen him foray into doing, he can really start to cause problems. At the moment, VonIvan's a little tiny bit weak. He's only got 3 penal battalions, 2 combat engineers. He's waiting till he gets 2 command points. So Theo has been able to lock in a double cap and maintain lots of control over the overall map.
Yeah, he has been. Von is now separating to go deep left, deep right at the moment. And I think he's just trying to maybe throw off the central position there. But, you know, one of the things we've seen in previous games like from today, was when, you know, for instance, like this Talisman, where he did decide to split up.
Combat engineer, 1-man squad, red, negative cover. Will they be able to exterminate that Soviet engineer? No, they will not be. But what's that? There we go. We've got the tier 2. The half track has been built, or is it in the build rather? So that's very interesting. Also had the Pioneer finish something down. I'm interested to see what the Wehrmacht Pioneer just finished. Oh, it was... the medic bunker's just been put up in the centre of the base there. And the tier 2's up, so Theo's cooking on all cylinders.
Yeah, he certainly is. I'm wondering how he's going to respond to this, because his resources are on the left side, yet we see Theo walking over to the right side right now. I'm interested to see what he's going to clear. But look, Minesweepers straight away. This is good that he's actually got Minesweepers preemptively. He's not going to be caught off by those. Already starting to work out against VonIvan, who, as we know, likes to plant a hell of a lot of them down. So needs to keep that squad alive. But half track looks like it may. Yes. No, he's not going to go over and deal with the left side. I'm a bit worried that Theo's just kind of kept his ground on the right here. I wonder what the advantage he's going to see is.
He's just got pushed off the left, didn't he, momentarily, but I think he's in a commanding position overall. The first Dushka is on the field, and they are units that are deemed overpowered by nearly everybody that plays the game. So they are something to be highly feared. However, he has a very good counter. It's all and 2 very good. He was toying with building a scout core then for a second, but he definitely has 1 very good counter. This is flame-wielding half-track that can really push up into a Dushka if it gets around, especially the armor-piercing rounds, and do some damage. This is Penal Battalion. He's on a 2-man squad, barely any health. In fact, hardly any. Is able to survive though. Is the half-track going to go in for the kill? No, it's not. It's a good escape. Theo is constantly contemplating other builds. He just built a Pack 40 for a second, then cancelled. He's already built a Zweihandelsweitenfancy scout core and then cancelled. He's in 3 minds at the moment as to what he should do.
I think that's a good thing about him, though, is that he's just very carefully considering, you know, what he's going to do. I think when he clicks on it, he thinks, actually, you know, is this going to be the benefit to me? But it shows someone who's very, very much thinking about what is going on at the moment. Half-track doing a good amount of work there, good health damage, needs to be very, very careful. He didn't get the sticky satchel, but it's really, really going to help just taking the health down off of those. We do have healing in the base for Von, so we'll be able to come back on the field, but it's just going to slow the rate that they come back onto the field, which is a nice mechanic from the Flame half-track.
Absolutely, I'm just so happy we've got a really close battle on our hands here. That was all the hallmarks of a great series. I mean, so far the players are playing this textbook. You've got Theo that is absolutely thwarting the Lend-Lease play of VonIvan. VonIvan's doing every part of his playbook correctly. He's not made a step incorrectly as of yet. And he will be building into the mid and late game, but at the moment, we've got a very even confrontation, and that makes a very happy and excited Alien Storms.
Yeah, it does indeed, and Von taking up to the tier 3 there has gone for the T70. Going to be using that to try and harass all the units on the field and potentially make some kind of dive for that half-track. Maybe Theo's going to take an opportunity to plant the Talamine. I haven't seen one go down just yet, but map is very patchy. Actually, indeed. And Von doesn't look like he's got reliable territory. Only on a plus 16, so is Theo. And both of them are just trying to be very aggressive with each other, trying to go for the real cutthroat territory decaps.
Such an exciting and entertaining game so far. It's only been 9-10 minutes of action, but it feels like it's been going on a lot longer. It's really in a good way. We've had so much action packed into this thing so far as the half-track escapes with very little help on Electricity too. But VonIvan is now starting to utilise the fuel callings. He's gotten the T70, which is such a great vehicle. This isn't just a T70. This is a VonIvan T70. And this is going to be causing all kinds of issues for Theo. He does, however, have the Pack 40, which is currently in the top right of your screen, repositioning to try and counter the threat. You'll also see in the top left of your screen the half-track trying to get back to base because the T70 is going to cause problems.
That's right. I think he made it was a little bit risky actually driving around there because there could have been telemines. I don't think he's swept those yet. But you know, it looks like he's trying to get around the back to get that half-track Theo well ahead of that. And making sure that he doesn't allow that to happen. Von's putting great pressure on the VPs though still. He's got the fuel on the left-hand side, so he doesn't have to worry too much when this gets decapped by Theo. And Theo seems to be... I think he's getting moved around by Von a lot. I think that's a big thing here. He's getting moved off the left, and the left is very reliable to him.
I think what a lot of people seem to forget about Crossroads is it is roughly a symmetrical map in two ways. It's split down the middle and across the middle. You know, it is a crossroads, obviously, so it doesn't so much matter sometimes he gets pushed off the left as long as you take the southeast. He did momentarily do that. Now the second MG42 from Theo. Interesting play. And let's see how it plays out.
I think, yeah, it's
aggressive.
That's aggressive.
Really aggressive. That's going to be the kind of thing that could push Theo over the limit. If you can get around that Pack 40, which we've seen VonIvan do so much in Coming Heroes 2 history, he loves to get around the back of AT guns and cause all kinds of issues with these medium and light armor tanks. So Von's now put himself in a position where he can push himself over the precipice and push Theo down under, and he's got the second T70. Which Theo's probably thinking of the first T70 because it makes its way into the graveyard of the west side of Crossroads, but it is not. There's the first one.
Oh yes, one being used for recon at the moment, potentially scouting a push on the right-hand side, and at the same time, one's trying to micro the T70 away from the AT gun that's coming in to defend. This is a good opportunity for the one on the right-hand side to go in, knowing that the AT gun is over there. So this is a good opportunity for him. He's going to make some good plays now. Recon mode disengaged. And it's time for that T70 to start opening up, and the target of choice is going to be the mortar. Trying to wipe as many units off there, forces the retreat. Another Dushka's getting suppression, and we've got the MG34 there.
Multiple suppressions and a pin is doing obviously great work because it's a Dushka. But the bigger picture is the T70 moonwalking into vision, putting a last salt in the wound blow to that retreating MG.
Got the first of the fuel drops as well coming in for Von. This is where we'll either see him maybe tech up or maybe get something else out of that tier 3.
It's actually second, so he's really gotten a lot of fuel so far. And I think it's because he's not up against OKW. He's able to just keep getting that fuel. And it's something like really pushes Lendlease over you know, the limit, quite frankly, against Wehrmacht, as they can really get the fuel for these M40 Shermans a lot quicker.
70's making an aggressive push into the base right now. AT gun managed to get a shot off and a Faust through the Grenadiers. This is a chance where Theo can make something work here, but the second T70 comes skidding in. They're both going to focus that AT gun. They're desperate to get it down. One should probably consider maybe moving the second T70 just in case it pops a shot off, but here we go.
Oh god, that is the value of two T70s. The first one looked likely to be going down, but the second one just comes rolling down that road and then decrews the Pack 40, which has just been recrewed. The Faust has gone in. The recrewed Pack 40 takes out the first T70. The second one looks like it could be going down. However, the Pack 40 is now being decrewed yet again. More Panzer Faust need to come out from Theo. He's still got the munitions. Will he be able to take it out? 3 Grenadiers are firing.
Yeah, Von's making the best use of this he possibly can, trying to get that Flamer half-track to try and just get that value.
Oh, there you go. It's all down under for Von. So although he's capped a lot of the map down, the bigger thing here is the material. If we were to look at the graph there for the army value, you're going to notice that Theo's just surged ahead with those 2 C70 losses.
Absolutely, and I mean, like, the resources he's getting right now are insane. Plus 48 to plus 4, and we just had the tier 3 going in there, so like trying to get something out of that's going to be a bit difficult. The demo charge on the left-hand side. Oh, you want to go? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to play Pictionary with my co-caster. There we go. If we can see the army value graph after those 2 T70s die, I think it'll tell a big story, as I predicted. Look at that dive for Von. That is Theo, who's been slow and steady, or strong and stable if you follow the UK election. But there you go. He's absolutely dominated there. And Theo is looking really good as VonIvan has thrown his T70s in and possibly thrown the game.
I think he'll be alright, because it's a little dip in comparison to when he does get anything from his next tiers. At the moment, he's just trying to buy the time with some SU-76. He's just about to hit 10 CP as well, and he'll have enough of the M4C Sherman, so I predict that graph is going to go straight back up in the opposite direction. Theo's a little bit further off in terms of that of resources right now, but look at this, he's got a very, very stable reclaim of the left-hand side, and I don't think he's going to want to make that same mistake again. I wonder if we see telemines anywhere.
Oh. He really could have done with some of them. There's a demo there. He's got to be careful. He's still got vision on it, but he knows the Gren isn't in position to be squad wiped quite yet.
Straight in there, trying to deal with this MG. Theo's going to retreat it through the barrage. Manages to get away with it.
Stangershots is being built, to quote Imperial Dane there, by Theo, which is a great unit for this map. However, it is going to be up against a very, very good unit with its high angled sloped armor. The M4C Sherman, loaned from America, will probably pay back extreme dividends for VonIvan. It is up against a Pack 40, which is of course on its third allotment of crew members, but it'll soon be up against the Shermgutts as well. And to quote a famous song in KOTOR history, will we see Sherman on the run outmatched by the Sturmgeschütz gun? Let's wait and see.
We will find out indeed. The SU-76 there is trying to go up, and it looks like maybe the AT gun, no, it's going to change reconfigure, goes for the flak half track. Now the M4C Sherman is pushing in. AT gun has turned to face the SU-76. This is the moment where Von can go in with this M4C and cause some real problems. There is a Grenadier here ready to Faust, because the Stug is now on the field, going to try and get that first penetrating shot. Has he timed it right with the Faust? Theo, I don't even think he had the Faust activated there, which means Von can still get out of this situation.
It could. He's going for a tour, a grand tour of his opponent's army here with the M4C. He's got the SU-76 as well now engaged. He's able to possibly mitigate the Sturmgeschütz since it comes into view, but of course the half-burnt out shed is in the way of the Sherman. It's able to keep harassing these infantry squads, pushing Theo further and further back into his own territories. The Sturmgeschütz and the Pack 40 have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, they really do, and Von's still going for that triple cap at the moment. He's hell-bent on getting the VPs down as quick as possible. SU-76 being repaired by the vet-free engineers, so this is going to be repairing a little bit quicker than it normally does now, as they do have their advanced repair speed. And same cannot be said for Theodosios, who is struggling to even keep his engineers alive on the field. Nothing seems to be able to get out of his base right now.
No, but at least he's got a gigantic arm still. He's got a really all-encompassing arm. As long as he doesn't lose material, it doesn't really matter for the meantime. Oh god, the Sherman takes out the Sturmgeschütz, and the Sherman looks like it's going to get away scot-free as it eats a Faust and remains alive on the battlefield. Very bad luck there for Theo.
Yeah, that was bad luck actually, but it still was a reasonable amount of health for that one. Because it was too close to going down to the Faust. But what a shame that he didn't get the Faust off previously, because he probably would have been able to do a lot more with that. Little overextension by that Stug, and look at the situation we're in now. Von ready perhaps to call in another M4C Sherman.
Oh dear me, here we go.
Yep, this is the steamroll, this is the meta. But he plays it so well.
He does. I mean, we can't take actually anything away from VonIvan. People would love to, because he is playing the meta, it is predictable, and it is the most powerful thing you could possibly do as allied with a particular commander choice overall right now. However, nobody can beat VonIvan as it. They can beat other players utilising it. VonIvan playing the meta is a hell of a lot different than other players playing it. And there you go. Theo has had no choice but to throw in the towel. He has seen the second M4C Sherman hit the field and knows he has no answer to it. 19 minutes, 20 seconds, 7 seconds in of what looked to be an even battlefield. Second M4C Sherman hits down. Yeah. Does it hurt your heart to see that?
No, not really. I think I think there were mistakes from Theo in that game.
Yeah.
I think if we go on analysis, like moving to the right hand side when he had the left locked down, could have held that territory. That because he went to the right hand side, he lost the resources. He could have had the Stiggy out earlier. Could have dealt with the 2 T70s. So I think Theo. I think Theo played.
What we need to do is we need to analyse why VonIvan Lend-Lease is seemingly unbeatable. Because other players playing it has been proven in GCS already that it's heavily counterable. Players like, for example, Armstrong with his high-intensity Tier 1 build against Jesselin's defensive, which is very much similar to the Lend-Lease in build order, didn't stand a chance. It just exploited the early game so much. But VonIvan playing Lend-Lease seems to be just like the ungodly duo of combinations. So what I would like to see from us, I guess, is... And I like what you just said there with a bit of analysis of what Theo could have done better, but it's something about VonIvan, something that we haven't quite quantified as of yet, that is meaning he's looking so damn good right now.
Yeah, I think he's prepared to go all in.
Yeah.
It really is that. And like, it's not just preparing to go all in. He micros it very well. I really think he does micro those engagements like incredibly well. I got a nice message from Talisman here, by the way. It says, thanks to both of you, Stormless and AE. It was a really fun tournament. I also want to thank you for a good best of 5 format. It's so dumb to play best of 1 or best of 3 in a game like this. This also might be the last tournament in Co2 I'll participate in, since we're getting more and more money in Overwatch.
Oh,
cash grab. Closing to professional deals. I'll be watching the rest of the tournament, rooting for Hans, Lovenest, and DevM. That's very nice of you, Talisman.
Lovely.
And, by the way, earlier he donated 50 quid.
Really?
So yeah, like thank you so much, Talisman.
Nice one.
Like his prize money.
It's pretty much. He's getting 10 quid now. But the sentiment is there. That message is beautiful from Talisman. He's had it. You know, what a guy. And just in general, you can see that his fighting spirit was there, but he wasn't as well practiced as he used to be back in the ESL era. Talisman. He got back match fit just about for this game, but he was always a professional Overwatch player. Getting match fit, and his Overwatch team, by the way, does compete with the big boys. Doesn't necessarily qualify for the end tournament finals, but still the money in one of those bigger esports is dramatic.
Yeah,
and he
if you have an opportunity to do something in a game like big like that, you're going to go for it.
We allowed it to happen. But the great thing about GCS is, although Company Heroes 2 is a smaller game in terms of competitive standard and in terms of prize money, this is the major tournament for this year, seemingly. This is the one everybody is looking at. This is where the prize money is. I mean, £1,400 for the winner isn't a small amount of money. That's pretty much my monthly salary. You know, that's what I expect to earn a month. That's my lifeblood. That is what I would see on my pay packet.
Yeah.
That is what one player is getting for playing a game that he loves to play anyway. Playing them out the same amount of time, and they get flown over to England, and they get to stand on a big stage with a trophy in front of their fans.
He's got it pretty good.
That's pretty damn good, I have to say, for this. So really, really good that Talisman's a big fan of the tournament format. Hopefully we'll see it again in the future. I mean, who knows?
Bear in mind, he said might be. Didn't say.
True. He didn't
say this is the last one. He didn't. Jesselin said that was like the last one. Talisman said it might be. It might be. Depends how good he is at Overwatch.
Jesselin was like watching Muhammad Ali come out of retirement in the 80s. You know. I'm fine with that. But Talisman, sorry, Jez. No offense. And here we are. We are in game 2 of this very, very good looking quarterfinal. In the south, we find ourselves with Theodosios, who played a great game as Wehrmacht, but couldn't quite beat VonIvan's superior #1 in the world Soviet play. And what do we see in the north there, Dan?
we see a very confident VonIvan, this time playing as OKW, instantly locking in Luftwaffe ground forces as his commander choice. This is going to allow him the ability to pop Luftwaffe out from any of the buildings on the map. High damage with the FG-42, I believe it's the FG-42s on those units, and they are going to be singing hopefully through the US forces. He's got one game in hand already, which was a great first game to the series. Let's see how he plays with OKW. He's not as highly ranked with them.
God no, he's in all honesty, he's not a one-trick. He's an extremely good player, but Soviets are where it's at for VonIvan. Currently, his OKW is 18th in the world on ladder. His Soviets is first. The disparity between his Axis level play and his Soviet level play is quite frankly astonishing. Although I will repeat again, he isn't a one-trick. In the finals, I can predict VonIvan very much trying to keep as many victory points as he can with his superior Soviet faction in order to make sure he gets choice in G5. And we saw him in that G1 on the battle planner. He chose immediately Soviets. He didn't think about map. So now VonIvan is OKW, although he will be trying his hardest to close this game, well, not close this game out, but make a name for himself as OKW and win the game, quite frankly. He's going to have his work cut out against Theodosios' USF, and this will be a lot more difficult for VonIvan to succeed as.
Definitely. I think here, like, he has to employ perhaps two different play styles, because if he starts pushing in like the way he did with the T-70s with, say, the Panzer IIs, and he may get into some problems. So he may have to play a little bit more restricted here, maybe wait for a bit late in the game before he starts doing those things. But with Luftwaffe, I mean, I guess I kind of expect he would still go for mechanized here. It's a great map for it. It's a great map for Panzer II, great map for the Puma. And God knows Von would be able to play it here. He's going to have the smoke discharge if he needs it. So plenty of options with him, and I'm really wondering what the choice of Luftwaffe is for. I'm kind of excited to see that.
Well,
because
it used to be Versus OKW at one point, didn't it? It used to be the commander that everybody used, you know?
I mean, versus USF, I mean, to pop the Luftwaffe out, not guaranteed, you know, it's not guaranteed wipe or guaranteed win.
No, absolutely not. I mean, one great thing about Luftwaffe, which I've always loved, it used to be meta, by the way, because the MG34 was an exclusive to it, or it and another commander. But the main thing I love is the Fallschirmjäger call-in from the airborne selected, the last utility. What's it called down, by the way? Hover over it for a second, sorry. Airborne assault, sorry, I got one of the words correct. 250 munitions for a Fallschirmjäger squad is a great conversion in the late game. And I've always liked that about that commander. You can get these Fallschirmjägers onto the field for a price of munitions.
Yeah, it's a nice one. And of course, they get a little bit of strafe, you know, to kind of like accompany it. So yeah, we'll see how he uses it. The one thing that, like, I always really enjoy about Von is that we seem to learn like new things, new ways of playing these, and it's always nice to be surprised. We saw it earlier with Talisman, for instance. Talisman with the Soviet Reserve did a great job with that.
Yeah, he did. Talisman, God rest his soul. poor Talisman. Damn, I told myself I wouldn't be putting spoilers into the cast today.
Don't do it.
On YouTube, no, it's absolutely fine. On YouTube, we're going to have a spoiler screen that's showing everybody that you need to watch the Talisman games first this week, at least. Because we have now into the second series, Theo versus VonIvan. The second series of 4 this weekend. Very exciting times to be alive as a KO2 fan.
A really nice decap here. Theo didn't want to engage the Volksgrenadiers who were capping the fuel, so instead he waited for the strategic point that decaps the fuel, knowing that when Von does actually cap it, it's not going to be connected, so Von isn't going to get the benefit of double fuel for doing that. So it's a really nice move to cap that instead of trying to engage. Gets more benefit out of that, and of course this game is all about picking those benefit situations. Rifleman here trying to tear through Von's lines. Got veterancy here on this Rifleman, might be a rifle nade.
Could be coming in, the anti-tank rifle nade on the Kubelwagen. No, he does not enlist it at this particular moment. This game is so far very evenly poised. 5 minutes in almost. And both players seem to be cooking on all tanks of gas at the moment. All gears, all whatever analogy or you want to give. It's a very even field at the moment. VonIvan doesn't quite have possibly the commander choices that he wants, but there are possible VonIvan fans in chat that have been seeing him use this commander on stream recently that know the tricks up his sleeve that he's about to utilise.
Still waiting for anything that's going to be able to deal with the Kubel straight away. What was the teching choice here? Went for the mechanized. So will we see the Panzer II? Will we see the Puma straight away? More likely to be the Panzer II. It's a popular choice at the moment, but Von is losing a lot of territory. I don't really see anything at the moment significant though. It's the one thing that, you know, even with a little bit of territory, mine goes off there.
It seems like a very angry but toothless dog is OKW. I mean, I don't doubt that VonIvan is an extremely good OKW player, but VonIvan Soviets are so feared. However, I have just picked out one thing, of course, with mechanized. VonIvan does have 2 bulletins that will help him ever so slightly. He has the 4% faster Puma reload and 3% faster Luke's reload, so it's clearly geared towards a mechanized build is his Luftwaffe OKW play.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, you get a little bit of an idea about what we might be seeing from Theodosios if he's going to directly play that. Good thing about those bulletins, they can be used as bluffs. You can easily bluff if you want to go, you know, load of bulletins for a tier or load of bulletins for a commander, but we'll see if he actually uses it. Theodosios has done some very good decapping here. He's really putting the pressure on Von to cap, making the Kubel work for its value. At the same time, always decapping on the right-hand side from VonIvan. So the resources, once again, I think we saw this in the last game, you know, it was very much like, very much unstable.
Definitely. I think unstable's one word to call it. In this particular game, Theodosios isn't possibly going to be as pushed off his kilter quite so much if he can contend against the Panzer II Lukes. That seems an inevitability at the moment. There it goes. It is inevitable. It is in the build. And we're going to be looking for Theo to offer options against it. And Dan's got his camera focused very keenly on one of them right now, the Stuart, which can really give us the Panzer II Lukes problems. Theo's sticking with build though, he's not cancelling and going for a Puma, he's going to stick with it.
Yeah, I was also wondering if we would see that cancel and rebuild. It has been revealed now, so yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, he should be able to deal with the Stuart. I'm sure he can deal with the Stuart. Shouldn't have too many problems there. I haven't seen any mines go down. I mean, one of them went down earlier. I haven't seen any others in the kind of the general locations that would trip that. The Panzer II is now on the field as the confirmed unit, and it's going to be an interesting engagement here because, you know, it wasn't doing too bad infantry to infantry. I think it's the Stuart that's going to make life. It's going to stunt the Panzer II and stop it from being as effective as it could be.
Panzer II is, as Dan says, possibly mitigated at the moment. However, it's always useful. The Kubelwagen state a big shot in the central victory point there. It's probably microing away as we speak, because we've got a bigger thing to worry about right now. We've got 3 infantry sections pushing that away. Bolsheviks popped from this house, they jump straight back in. Elsewhere, they've got the Lukes dawning on the captain.
There's a lot of engagements going on all over.
Look at this contingency from VonIvan, as Blobberino as he may call it. It's got the Sturmgewehrs to just keep firing upon that squad.
Yeah, but of course he does have the tech up to bars now as well on the riflemen, so Theo's just trying to do what he can to flush out the buildings, trying to maneuver the Stuart so it doesn't get fausted. Now the Lukes has come up to try and deal with the riflemen in the green cover position, and that with the Fallschirmjägers. They only lost 1 model in the garrison, so they did very well. VonIvan is taking the map back by storm.
Really is, and Sturm being the operative word there. He's really just pushed his way down. You can really see on the bottom left of your screen that attack map being swallowed up in red, the angry red of VonIvan's OKW, as he seeks to really prove himself on a tournament standpoint with his Axis, because players like DevM, who awaits the winner of this match in the semi-final, will be keenly watching this series and looking out for how VonIvan plays his Axis, because everyone knows just how damn good he is at Soviets. So the big quantity that is unknown is his Axis.
Just looking at Theo at the moment, I mean, if you compare his playstyle to that of you know, what we used to see from DevM, I mean, you know, there's just not as much on the field. And that's something I think that maybe goes against USF when playing against this, because, you know, like DevM knows how to just build up that army. He knows how to build up the force to be very, very big. Theo's is not necessarily as true. We did see the rear echelons go down. He's actually put those up again. Maybe he's fearing shoe mines. Maybe he needs the minesweepers back, because he did lose them with that unit. And Theo's one of those players. Like, he doesn't like pushing without minesweeping. He's a sensible player. So it's a good win for Von, really, because he's going to force that manpower back off his opponent.
Do you have a Puma just jumping out there for VonIvan? The second truck as well, just hitting the field. There's all suddenly the reinforcements are here. He's got everything he needs.
Really bringing it to the mechanized, you know, the mechanized regiment. He's making the most out of that.
Definitely. Look at Theo's map control. It's non-existent at the moment. He has territories, but they're not really much to talk about.
No, the Puma will have been spotted there, and yeah, he's got to be a little bit careful now. Puma tried to take a little bit of a guess shot. Captain's going to try with some shots from the bazookas, but Von's actually planting shots through the hedgerow with the ground attack. We may have just seen a rifle nade go off. Looks like it, but
oh my god, that's a it's a quarterback position there as he literally slings it. The Stuart comes in for the killing blow, isn't quite able to get it. The captain is in tow as well. Fallschirmjäger's trying to contend as well to keep the stricken Puma alive. What an engagement, what a series of engagements. Multifaceted, multi-dimensional. This game has it all in this Game 2, the second match of the quarterfinals of the Grand Championship Series.
Funnily enough, we still don't have a doctrine locked in for Theodosios. Now he knows exactly what the commander pick is for the OKW at the moment. He knows what Von's going for. So really, you know, what's the pick going to be for him? I think the thing with Luftwaffe is there isn't a late game. So maybe he's taking into consideration, you know what, there's not going to be a guaranteed late game on here. I need to still be careful about what the technical choices are going to be. So I don't think he can guarantee he's going to be happy with heavy cavalry company.
It's possible. I think heavy cav is a good way to go regardless. I mean, the Pershing is a squad wiping machine. And as these infantry squads get veterancy 4 and 5 later in the game, Pershing will just be I wanted to say brutal, but I don't want to kill the guy playing the drinking game. just destroy this squad, so it's always a good option. As we've got the mechanized from VonIvan rolling into view as the Stuart relinquishes.
Careful here, Theo trying to recap other areas of the map right now. Von coming over to deal with it with the Luftwaffe. Kubel goes down. I think that was a rifle nade or the bar fire. Might see another one hit the Lukes now, but really, what have we got to finish this off? Stuart's trying to take a couple of cheap shots. Rifleman trying to push up with the Puma, and it's a good assault, but it looks still like Von is coming out on top.
Yeah, it really does at the moment. However, just see the Fallschirmjägers decimate that squad. I think that was a rear echelon that was capping the western fuel point there. That's really not going to allow Theo to cap where he needs to. But in terms of army value and size, it is roughly equal at the moment. I think VonIvan's just dipped ahead for a moment, but it could easily change either way in this ebb and flow, to and fro, here and there, fully everywhere match. Do that to make Dan laugh and it worked. There we go.
Thank you. Theo in a little bit of a bad place right now. He's actually stacking the resources up a bit as well, so he's on that kind of push point at the moment, deciding where am I going to go, where is my teching going to go. Von's mechanized is completely kind of cornered Theo at this moment, because he just doesn't really know what to do. I would have thought maybe Theo would have reached for an AT gun though. I think that would have been an excellent choice in helping him deal with the Puma Lukes coming in, letting his infantry go in and do some of this, but he hasn't, for whatever reason.
Chosen armor though, so he's got those M10s to come out very soon, once he's finished getting the next 3.5 command points. Well no, it's 8 for the M10, isn't it? It's the bulldozer, that's the 10 command points, so he's going to get them very shortly, 1.5 to go, and those things are damn good at dealing with light armor like we're seeing from the Lukes and the Puma. So basically Theo has to allow himself to lose a little bit in order to get a very good counter out.
The capture point is under attack.
So I can think of for poor Theo right now, but he's just trying to make the grounds with infantry. He's constantly pushing up with the infantry, stacking up the manpower. He must just be going right now for he must just be going for that CP, you know, just giving everything he can in so he can just rush with the M10s. There's got to be all or nothing, I think, when these M10s do come out.
Really has. He's got to be aggressive, he's got to be tenacious, he's got to be ferocious, he's got to make it work. When the M10 hits the field, it's all go for Theo, because he's clearly relinquished a little bit of map control, victory points and fuel, in order to make this M10 build work. Quiet on the western front for a moment there. So we've got the eye of the storm, calm before the the battle.
point is being
You see
overrun.
VonIvan's focus grenades coming to view to decap the south.
And check this out, we've got another tier structure coming in. A third tier structure maybe going over here to defend the left VP. Not sure on its position yet, but 3 HQs banking fuel. You know where this is going, don't you?
Indeed, he's going for the Kubelwagen ace yet again. No, indeed, he is going for the Tiger too, the Phoenix Tiger into the preamble. All queued up there. He's, of course, going for the Tiger. It's going to be a damn fine specimen when it hits the field.
Pops another squad of the Fallschirmjäger.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's just trying to put loads and loads of pressure on there. Good direction as well, because he gets out of all the windows of the building to provide that. STG is just constantly harassing Theodosios' ability to stay on the field, and he's actually doing a very, very good job of it. Of course, a lot of his things at the moment are in a state of repair back at the base. Puma can come back on the field in a second. Theo just cannot get out of the base.
He can't catch a break. VonIvan isn't being ferociously aggressive in this game. He's just being constantly aggressive. It's just a continuous barrage against Theo, and he's just not able to battle out of it, seemingly.
We're losing a capture point.
Oh, that's a ballsy Faust. Will it be paid for? And yes, it will. He gets it off, and he keeps the Stuart back in base for a small amount of time. Only a small amount of time, though. There it is, the M10 Wolverine.
Yeah, M10s will work out to be a good choice for him. I mean, especially if you can get those light vehicles down, because Von's next tech looks like.
The shot connects. The Puma's going to have to back out of there. The Lukes might come around the rear, but it might be not a very good idea, quite frankly, as the Stuart and the M10 Wolverine parade through the centre. They're gunning for that Puma. The Vetu Puma is out of control. They're now going to be gunning for the Lukes. Will this be a great turnabout and play for Theo? They find the Lukes. There they go. They got line of sight. Are they going to go push for it? The M10's going to be following in tow. The Stuart's found it though. The Lukes is a sitting duck out there. Vacancy 2. It looks likely to be dying. Could Theo have made a great turnabout and play here?
I'm not sure if he's going to scrape that. This is still an opportunity. But what happened to the? What happened?
What's happened to that? It got taken by Stern Pioneers, who've upgraded to the Shreks there, just off camera, and rightly so. The camera followed where the action was, but where the action wasn't is where some of it was, and that M10 got taken out, and Theo has thrown in the towel in what looks likely to be a fit of rage, quite frankly, as the... I've never seen a Stern Pioneer upgrade to Shrek, take out an M10 from the rear, and that's just ridiculous.
Honestly, I didn't think there was anything that would have been able to do that to the M10. I thought it was free reign. A lot of Von's stuff, as you can see, is up in the base. Yeah, however he managed to do it. Maybe it tripped a mine. Maybe he just finished off with these. Either way, very well played by Von, who's going to take 2 games in the series.
You can't argue with that. As soon as he saw the danger, he was just upgrading the Stern Pioneers to Panzer Shreks.
Yeah.
And the M10 bit the dust, unfortunately just off camera, but as we say, we were following the right thing because we thought the action was with the Stuart all over the Lukes, and we said, oh, where's the M10? Where's the M10? Surely the M10's coming. No, the M10's exploded.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be the follow-up, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't the follow-up at all.
But he raged unnecessarily there. I mean, if we go back to the game just to show the army sizes, the army values, I don't think Theo should have
wait, I think we've got one. There we go. Yeah.
Gotten rid of his standpoint in the game there. He probably should have stayed with it, quite frankly.
It's a difficult game. I mean, Theo was on the back foot like all of that game. All of that game. It just kind of rolled and rolled and rolled. But Von, 2-0 up in so quickly as well. Oh. He's in a great position, and he gets to go back and play. Allies again. So we're gonna wait for that game 3. Let's. Do you mind if we take a short break?
Absolutely, a short break. A beer is necessary. We're going to game 3. VonIvan Theo very shortly. For everybody watching today, we have 2 excellent series coming to you tomorrow. That's right, it's a double bill this weekend. We have Aim Strong. You've already put us on break.
No.
Love Nest. And we've got, of course, Barton versus Helping Hands all coming to you tomorrow as well.
Oh yes. All right, guys. Short break. We'll be back very, very soon for the 3rd game, potentially the final game today. Potentially, but hopefully
Theo
not.
really makes a name for himself. It could be awesome.
Do you know what? Someone is right. It still does say 0-0 over here. We will update that right now so you guys can see it. We'll also change that over as well in a second. But guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.
pushdown. He's going in for the flanking push. Raketin versus that centre pass does not matter. M4C Sherman's going for the off-spin. The T70 is going to try and get rid of the Raketin. Here comes the Kraut mode, the M5 half track with the quad mount. Everything's going wrong for Burmy very quickly.
T-3485 to the left, whilst all of the infantry was seemingly on the mid to right. Yaktig is going to try and get some shots off, and it does, actually connects again. Yeah, T-3476 doesn't. King Tiger easily going to be able to deal with the situation, and now he's going for the rear armor, trying to maybe block it in so the AT gun can also get some work. That looks like a successful block.
It's all kinds of fears coming in. The Sherman's in an ambush position. He's going to get that rear armor facing. SU-85 is about to go down. Tiger's getting done down by the Sherman though as the Stuka rains fire from above. What an armor confrontation. It looks likely that Aimstrong's come out highly on top here. All three vehicles down for Hooligan. Aimstrong reigning supreme through the centre.
They're going to try and get it. Havoc just doesn't know how to do this. The King Tiger's parked in the centre. There's no way round. He just has to take it from the front. Good counterplay from Tobistow. Gets the Faust on the T-3485. Here comes the Raketin. He's going to get a shot off. That's the penetration.
Shit, bounce! Bounce! I came here for no problem with it. I got the Panther! Pershing goes down to try and Panther down! He's setting up now. Everything is blowing apart! Everything's going kaboom!
Is he? He shouldn't do. He really shouldn't do. Or should he?
He gets it! He gets
it with the Ziscon! Holy crap!
Oh my god.
Hello there, and welcome to Game 3 of the second match of the quarterfinals of the Grand Championship Series. You're watching VonIvan, the Imperious VonIvan.
Was that it? He's going to be up against Theodosios, playing as the OKW. The map is now Kolodny Firma for this game. So a bit of a change up here. Get to see VonIvan play straight into Lend-Lease.
Really?
Again. Oh, yes.
What?
Yeah,
He's going for is he going for the non-meta award? This is crazy. He's 2-0 up and he's gone for a crazy strategy. Lend-Lease, we've never seen that in Company Heroes 2 recently.
Well, if anybody can pull off Lend-Lease, it will be VonIvan.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Theo, though, is battling. The big story here is all about Theo, in all honesty. I think Co2.org polls showed VonIvan to be the expected winner of this series. He was given 32% likelihood for a 3-2 victory, 34% likelihood for a 3-1 victory. People expected him to drop at least one game. But at the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to drop any games because he's 2-0 up already. And he's now as his favourite faction with the favourite commander. So all hopes rest on Theo. Just like two droids in a ship on a desert island, we hold a message from a princess from a very long saying that, Theo, you're our only hope.
It's one of those, I think maybe like the map might play in a little bit here for Theo, because this is a harder map for Von to push the way that he had pushed previously. You know, it's a lot more narrow. He might not be able to get all those lines on. And hopefully Theo will defend himself with mines and so on. We didn't necessarily see that in the last game, even though we saw like a couple of light things planted. You know, it was like it wasn't enough really. It wasn't enough to stunt the vehicle onslaught that we kind of knew was coming. So yeah, I mean, hopefully this map works out a little bit better for him, but at the same time, this is a great map for Soviets because, you know, it's like places that the Dushka can perform very, very well on, like very narrow flank routes. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Very interesting that no one took the church early game. Von takes a very slow take of that.
Yeah, very slow. It's almost as though he expects Theo to be a bit of a slow starter, and I think that's exemplified by his barbed wire usage there. He's put 2 strands of it, which takes a while, as with the Stern Pioneers. And he's protected the munitions sector of the map very, very well.
Yeah, he is. It's very important as well that OKW gets control of this north side. I like that I think we already saw the shoe mine down, so spending those early resources as well, which is good. It's going to help stunt Von a little bit, but Von's going to go straight for this decap, and of course this isn't a decap whilst the VP is still possessed by Theodosios, so capturing this isn't going to do any damage to Theodosios' resource income right now. He can relatively just ignore that for the time being. He does have to try and clear out these penal battalions though. He might have to push with the Kubel to allow the Stern Pioneers to get in. This is going to be very delicate, but he ends up pushing his own Stern Pioneers out the way, which is a little bit of a misplay there.
Vaughan, you pushed the wrong unit there, Sunshine, as the SVT wielding penal battalions take up the munitions garrison despite all the pushing, despite all the reinforced barbed wire. It looks like the Stern Pioneers are also going to lose out in that engagement, but here they go with the SVTs trying to take advantage of the Kuba Volgamine on low health, but does manage to make it to the bonus of the road and reverse the hell out of there.
Yeah, he's done a good job, and now it's a long retreat for Von as he's got to take his penal battalions down through 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers. 3 squads of Volksgrenadiers now, so we could be seeing an early loss for Von. Looks like they will escape in pretty good time. Yeah, Von just pummeling out the penal battalions right now. Oh, they trip the mine and die.
Oh, God, that's hideous.
Yeah.
What a hideous loss, but what a great win for Theo. Those penal battalions dying might be exactly what he needs to get into this game.
It was very good, actually, because he blocked off the standard retreat path here. So that was a predictable retreat path with a mine laid in advance of that. It's going to make things a little more difficult for Von, but he's happily going to spend his 300 manpower on another squad of penal battalions.
And there you go, but it has delayed him quite significantly, VonIvan. This might allow Theo to get the Lukes out a little bit quicker without an anti-tank counter on the field, as it may have been. All these big wins in terms of squad wipes mean big ramifications later down the line. It's all a butterfly effect, if you will.
Look how the rest of this goes for him. He's not too far off getting the Dushkas out, but already making sweeping pushes through the map. And Theo's not worried about losing the territory outside of his base. He's actually centering all his forces on defending the points here. Von could just lean up a little bit to the north, go for the VP and some of the strategic points, but he's not making that decision. He's going to continually try and put an assault to try and drive these Volksgrenadiers back to their base.
It's great control by Theo, though. And control not of the map, but of his own aggression. He's staying back, he's protecting his cutoff, and he's playing slow and steady. And with great tactical plays, such as that mine wiping the penal, and the barbed wire covering up one retreat path, and focusing it onto that mine. It's great play by him, and he's doing down well, but he has now lost what we were just talking about, as 2 penal battalions just put their heads down and dive straight for the cutoff.
Nice play by Von there, just putting the pressure on at the moment. We've got the Minesweeper Stern Pioneers here, getting rid of some early mines laid by Von. Von's spreading out to decap as much as possible. He does run the risk of the Kubel going down the map and trying to decap Von, so this could be counterproductive, but nope, Theo's not going to take that opportunity. Looks like the Kubel's going to cap VP, and maybe try and recap some of the territories that he's got running on his side. Yeah,
it was a little tiny bit of a missed opportunity, but all the Volksgrenadiers were back in base, so he really couldn't do anything solidly. And now they're back, they're hiding behind green cover, as are the penal battalions with their SVTs cocked and ready. Soon to be joined by others that are currently capping the fuel, so it's going to be a very interesting engagement here, pivotal engagement, as he's capped the victory point with the Kubel, then goes for the cutoff. As the combat engineers come into view, it looks like they'll be able to neutralise that cutoff and give a good turnabout in play.
Always like to see that deep recap.
Oh god, yes. My favourite kind. With the Kubel Vorgen duking it out against the penals, the ISG in the build for Theo. Great game. I just feel like it's such a high intensity game, this one. A lot of people expect Theo, in the polls on Coty.org, VonIvan to win the series today, but to lose at least one game. Barely anybody voted as the satchel goes in and destroys some logs. Very exciting.
close one. Von could be dangerously close to losing another squad here. Fortunately, he does have something that can come in and protect if necessary, but trying to decap Theo actually ended up with Von in a dangerous situation for his resources himself. Fortunately, he's getting his tier 3 up already. He's about to come up on 70 fuel for the T70 regardless, so it's not going to be too damaging for him. But he does need to get that on the field relatively quickly so he can really start pushing OKW off areas of the map.
God, there's so much room for potential from both armies, from each player right now on Kolodny Firma. You could feel it could go one of two ways. We've got tier 3 coming up. We've got the OKW player still without a commander choice. Theo's got many options at his disposal. He's currently going for an MG34 just to keep the penals at bay. He knows he's going to be up against a Dushka as well, so maybe if he can somehow get the suppression off first against the Dushka, he could keep that at bay as well. So anything could happen right now in this game. We know VonIvan is 2-0 up, but we know Theo's a great player, and he will be doing everything he can to get back into the series.
The question right now, though, is where is Von going to go with this? Is he going to keep maintaining that pressure? Is he going to go and try and play the safe game? I'm trying to hold myself back from laughing as I say that. Of course he's not. Von never plays the safe game here. But what did somebody just... No. Sorry, I thought there was a unit there that might have just gone. But he's actually starting to put some mines down, trying to make sure that Kubel doesn't come back in for the decaps. And at the same time, applying a little bit of pressure. I mean, the thing with Von is that he can do both, actually. He can play aggressively and defensively on his own terms. Some of these decaps, though, are like so deep, so wild, like just trying to make any kind of munitions run get disconnected. I'm just going to go for that fuel again. It's just constantly creating problems for Theo.
I think VonIvan's showing greater APM. When you see players seemingly being able to cap and decap just constantly and somehow being able to do it just without thinking, it is always indicative of a higher rate of APM, and I think I would personally portray Theo as a better tactical player than most players, but VonIvan as a much better APM player than most players.
Here comes the T70, famously requiring little APM. And it's not going to have to worry about taking down the Kubel now because the Kubel has tripped one of the mines. T70 should be able to go in right now, and I don't think we have any AT on the field, so this T70 is going to enjoy a nice window of time where it can just pick away at the OKW forces.
This window is going to be a window that Theo is not going to enjoy looking through because it's just completely soaked up by the T70 looming upon him right now. It's largely unmitigated. He's got Rakettenwerfer on the field, yes. He's got 3 Panzerfaust wielding platforms, yes, but the T70 won't mind. VonIvan is a great user of T70. He'll get around the back of you and he'll make you hurt.
I think Theo has been very resilient. Like, he's already taken Von down 150 VPs at the moment. And yeah, really, like, this is only a good, situation only gets better for OKW if Theo can maybe get like the tier 4 building out. That'll stop the T70 from being controlling on one side, really restrict its movement. The Raketten will be very, very helpful there. Theo's coming up to that time where you can start looking at that. You've got the tier structure being built at the moment. The OKW truck is going to be on the field very soon, and let's just see where he goes with it. Is he going to go for that lockdown?
Again, VonIvan's going for the T140, the double T70. He's going for another one, just like he did in that G1, where he just threw himself into a back 40, allowed himself to be Fausted with one T70, and used the other T70 to decrease that 40. That similar levels of aggression could be displayed by VonIvan in this G3. Here we go, Panzerfaust platforms here. Just tries to get behind the building, isn't able to do so. Does eat a Faust. Here comes the penal battalions and their combat engineer brethren, with the flamethrower firing being the operative word, doing a hell of a lot of damage.
It's hard to tell which way some of these will go because there's a lot going on. That ISG nearly wiped the penal battalions, forcing them back through the incendiary there. Theo's managing to decap left. He's doing such great work with the Stern Pioneers. He really, really is. Like, getting rid of all the mines, wasting Von's resources here, the munitions that get laid down. So he's doing a really good job. Theodosios locks in with the fortifications doctrine, which means potential of the Pack 43. But what's this T70 doing? Doesn't look like it's engine damage. Must have hit a mine or something.
That was the Faust from earlier. Or no, there's 2, of course. One was the Faust and one must have been the mine, as Dan was rightly mentioned. But also VonIvan's now got the Dushka on the field as well, so it's just complete chaos for Theo. He is going to be needing to get something such as the Panzer II Lux, which is obviously going to have its work cut out for it. And I think VonIvan's build here is a quite clever one, because the natural counters to the Dushka are mitigated heavily with the two T-70s. It leaves Theo with interesting choices to make and a difficult game to break.
It will be good. I mean, with the position of the tier 4 then, I have a feeling we could see Pack 43 kind of go up in this area. It's become very popularized. Very popularized recently, thanks mainly to Gaming Bro. Could see that engineer go down there, manages to get away. Do you have anything that could pick it up? MG's not paying attention there. The Volks Grenadiers. Looks like the engineer will come back. T-70 is trying to push up a little bit down. I think the tier 4 just came up a little bit against that.
See that bloody branch?
I did.
Scared the crap out of me. It's like the. It's like when you see that video with the brick just flying across the motorway and hitting that person in the face. It felt like that. I felt really scared for a moment there. Well, back to reality for a moment. After A suddenly thinks a piece of wood is flying at him from the screen, we've got a very interesting battle in front of us. We have Theodosios trying to answer the situation in front of him with two MG34s, a Rakettenwerfer, but not much else to deal with two T-70s. And we're now waiting for him. Now he has his Schwerpanzer headquarters up, watching over his cutoff. He's probably going to be looking for the Panzer Fear to strike fear in the hearts of the T-70 crew members.
It wouldn't be a bad choice for him. It'd be probably one of the quickest ways of him to go left and right to defend two VPs. This is a really nice setup. This is kind of like how OKW is designed to be played in a way. Like, you want to get the trucks a little bit out, you want to be defending certain areas. You know, maybe if you can get the Pack 43 up, it's a great defensive position. So pressure's on Von, and I think actually the T-70s, you know, they're really negated by that tier 4 being there. You know, they're really going to struggle to push when tier 4 is in you know, protecting an area. So Raketten dead in the center between the mid area and the northern area. It's going to help him bounce left to right as he sees those vehicles come in. So yeah, Theo playing a much better game here.
He's playing a very, very good game, and of course he is up against the dastardly duo of VonIvan with his Soviets and with the Lend-Lease. So given that he's up against that combination, every single thing he does in this game is slightly more impressive than it would be otherwise. Except in recon mode, pops out of recon mode, dives around the MG34 and causes an instant retreat.
Yes, and the Raketten trying to push up there a little bit, but it looks like it's maybe going to be found by the penal battalions. Didn't need to hit that retreat button. He was still in stealth, but always I panic about the penal battalions getting a little bit too close. Theo's making advantage of the long-range engagements on this map. It's the place where the Volksgrenadiers is going to perform best against the penal battalions. Von is doing some great work on the resources.
He is. Interestingly though, it is 15 minutes in, and VonIvan is down on the victory point counter. Theo is in a great position. He's only 40 victory points down, which means although he has been penned back in his base at a certain point, he's still well into this game with regards to longevity. He can weather the storm of this T-70 onslaught and wait for his fuel to catch up with him. He's currently on 90. He's waiting for around 130, 140 to get this Panzer Fear out. Most likely, is my prediction. He is going to be up against that. Is that a T-34 76 in the build?
It certainly is, yes. T-34 76 is coming on, which is it's unusual. You'd think he'd be going just straight through the Shermans, but whilst he's got time and resources, why not bring it out onto the field? Throwing a few surprises there. Minesweepers are getting rid of some of the mines here. That looked like the flamethrower was disarming it. No, that couldn't happen. But,
well, apparently so. Somehow. A nice bit of suppression comes in from the Dushka, which is a constant fear for every single Axis player on the ultra-match ladder at the moment. As the Volksgrenadier there on the western side is finding its way around the hedge, going to throw an incendiary grenade into the Dushka, and it gets out of there just about. One of the squadrons is momentarily on fire, but here we go, the most mass-produced tank in military history, the most effective pound-for-pound tank in warfare history. The T-34 76 is on the battlefield.
Yeah, Yes, indeed. We'll have to see what he's going to be able to do with this. He's taking it straight up the center of the map at the moment. Really try and go for the building. He's going to trip a mine if he pushes too much further, but he just manages to get it. Going to try round the structure of the building.
That's not been seen since Jesulin back in ESL when there was that bug on Feymanville and he used to destroy buildings by ramming them. But still, interesting usage of the T-3476. He's got to watch out for that mine. Going just about round it now and he will be safe. But here we go, the Pack 40 is built. It's a colossal cannon. It's going to be doing severe damage in this game. He's now seen it. He's up against it. He's got to get around the flak. The Rakettenwerfer could also cause him issues. This T-3476, it looks like Alice with the wood in the woods with the wolf ready for her right now.
He's actually doing some really good work on this because the T-3476 is pulling the fire from the tier 4 whilst the engineers get a demo charge on the Pack 43. They blow themselves up.
Oh, what a play from VonIvan! He was able to literally create that situation out of nothing. It looks so devastating for his armor, but using the Penal Battalion, what a play! Using the Penal Battalion with the satchel, he literally made that incredibly fortified structure look, quite frankly, foolish. What a play from VonIvan. That is one of the best I've seen.
Wow, he really made good use of the 76 there. Incredible use of the 76 to just draw all that fire away whilst the engineers did the work.
I think we need to watch that back. I honestly do. Can we just... We obviously finished for the day with casting.
We'll just use the observer mode rewind function that Relic put in.
We could save the replay, watch the replay, jump to it. It's going to take ages. Regardless, let's try and put ourselves back into the view of what happened there. We saw what looked likely for the Soviets to be any other player. If you weren't VonIvan, you were out of it. You had the Schwerpanzer headquarters firing. You had that Rakettenwerfer expertly positioned, and the Pack 43 just ready to demolish anything that couldn't survive the onslaught. VonIvan managed to literally take a poo sandwich and turn it into a 12-course meal. You know, it took something crap and made it extremely good, and that's what makes a great coach.
It was risky, though. I mean, there was a mine he could have tripped. He could have got caught on anything with that T-34.
Yeah, but I didn't.
It's like, yeah, but I didn't get it, Kappa.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what a play. That was awesome. It didn't feel like the game was going to be over at that point, but VonIvan told us otherwise. I mean, our casting, we kind of like... We made it sound dramatic after the fact because we weren't expecting that to suddenly be, you know, producing such a moment of glory out of nothing. Yeah. He produced it out of nothing, VonIvan. What a play! I
was expecting to have to watch him go 10 CPs, try and make something work with like indirect fire.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But
we were like, oh, he's trying to dart around those gigantic anti-tank guns. That's going to go well. And then the Penal Battalion out of nowhere with the satchel. And
I mean, that's one of the reasons why VonIvan is top seed. That's why he's like one of the bigger seeds in there.
Seed number 4.
But it's the second one we've had to say goodbye to today in terms of the heavyweights. It's
goodbye, Theodosios. It's hard to die when VonIvan's laughing in the sky.
1 second. Drink myself out of this.
Wake up, you're not in Kansas anymore.
Come
on. Come on, so. Oh, God. But still, we've had a great day of action. And in some senses, because the action has been a 3-1 and a 3-0 today, and the games haven't been as epic as they will be tomorrow, it has felt like the calm before the storm. In some ways, great games still nevertheless, but it almost feels like we're building up to something. And that something is Sunday with Loveness versus Aimstrong, and we've got Barton versus Helping Hands. We've got a grudge match of pride. 2 like warriors, knights versus like people clawing each other's eyes out in Helping Hands Barton.
Yeah, but and it's a lot of like, I think like tomorrow's games divide the community. Do you know what I mean? Like they divide the community a little bit because Helping Hands and Barton. You've got friends of both. You know, Hans has a huge stream following. Barton's got tons of his own fans, you know, just from all of the tournaments he's taken part in and everything else. You know, he's like really going to be a big one. And you've got Aimstrong and Loveness. You know, you've got like a really favourite player come to us too.
Oh, yeah.
Against, you know, what's touted as being the bad guy of Company of Heroes right now.
Only
which
for
is
you.
Armstrong.
For loads of people love him.
He
He's
loves
a good
being the bad
sportsman.
guy.
He does actually
he
like
loves
it, to be
being
fair.
the bad guy.
I said that to him. We could turn you into the bad guy of
He is
Co
the
2. He was like, I'm not sure about that. I was like, yeah, we could make you the villain, you know. Just like it could have been an OCF. But we have, to be honest though, he's not gone that route. He's been as sportsmanlike as he could be with Hooligan, nearly crushing him, which was funny. And then he practiced really hard and made Jesulin look a fool, which was really quite tragic, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. It was tragic. It's one way of putting it.
But in all honesty, as a talking not as an unbiased caster, not as a tournament organizer, Armstrong's actually trained harder than Lovenest in the past for GCS.
Yeah, no,
he has.
I can see.
Lovenest is a better Co2 player, no doubt about it. Lovenest is a beast. He's a legend. But Armstrong is a Co1 legend that's actually trained harder for GCS in Co2 than Lovenest has. So I think that possibly evens the playing field. And possibly it's not like OCF where it was like Armstrong, cash grab Armstrong coming back and abusing Brits that nobody knew was OP at the time and using that centaur to make himself like nearly $2,000. It's not like that. In this case, he knew about GCS as soon as it was announced. He was like, right, I'm training for that. I'm going to make it happen. He nearly quit a few times because he couldn't make it happen. He was finding it a big struggle to get match fit. Then he nearly goes out to GB. Then he decides, right, I'm training even harder. Then he destroys Jesulin. So, in all honesty, I absolutely will argue against people that say he's cash grab Armstrong. He's trained extremely hard for this tournament. And tomorrow I see it as literally a grudge match of pride. It's two honourable tournament veterans. Lovenest, who doesn't have his heart in Co2 anymore either. Armstrong, who's never had his heart in Co2. But they're both competitors. They both love playing competitive Company of Heroes. In whatever form you give them, they'll play it. Especially if there's money and there's pride on the line. So two literal tournament legends, it's like having two knights, Paragon knights, fight each other. It's going to be awesome. Then after that, then we've got the controversy. Yep. Then we've got the Polish troll is going to be like cover versus Helping Hands, who gets raged induced if it doesn't go his way against somebody like Barton, especially. Although Helping Hands is clearly a more well-practiced Co2 player, Barton has a psychological edge against him that you cannot deny.
It's a tough... tomorrow's going to be a very tough matchup because Barton is... Barton's builds are slightly... And this is actually... Barton and Hands have a very similar element to themselves, is that they play their own thing. You know, like I've seen Hands play some commanders and some strats that quite frankly are unknown, and he's got, there's like things I never see, and I'm like, that's cool, that works. And he's using it well. Barton's the same. Barton's using counter-attack tactics the other day, but using it very well. And that clash is brutal to me, because both of those players can play a style they want, but they can also adapt.
Yes, they can.
And both of them can adapt and come back from situations. Do you know what I mean? Really, that it's a mind game.
Oh, so it's the biggest psychological battle in Co2 history, mate.
Yeah, it's who can stay the strongest, like who can keep their head cool.
Can I just say that Helping Hands was literally at one point there wasn't people like you, Lovenest and VonIvan. It was Helping Hands was the streamer for Co1. He was. There was nobody doing it like he did it, with the webcam and with the, all the emotes and all that crap. Sorry, no offense. All that crap, all that random crap. Yeah, he was doing it back in 2011. When I came into the scene, it was Helping Hands. Everybody watched his stream. And Barton, at that point, was trolling the crap out of him. He was whisper spamming him back in... I'm talking, like, literally 6 years ago. He was whisper spamming him. Helping Hands could not play a game. You can imagine James's little face. A little bit younger at this point. Like, this beep beep... like popping up, like L2P.
That whisper system needed to go.
It really did. And at that point, he was trolling him. He was stream sniping him 6 years ago. Then in 2014 to about 15, got to admit it, and I will say it to Helping Hands, Barton was the better player in Co2. He was just more aggressive in tournaments, and he knocked Helping Hands out consecutively. Over and over again. I'm going to go through it tonight, but if you go in tournament brackets, and if you find, like, for example, the spreadsheet I made, you will see that in loads of brackets history, Barton knocked Helping Hands out. and then something happened in 2016, which you well know.
2016 was ESL, and at this point, this is when Hans really became the streamer that he is now. This is the point where he sat down and focused and grinded. He left it to the last minute of ESL, but it was probably the heartwarming story of ESL.
The story,
was watching Hans win the third monthly finals at the last element of ESL, where he trashed Jove. Like Jove in the prime, you know. Really like humiliated a lot of players and stuff, and claimed his name, you know, claimed his spot
after so many years of being nearly ran, or Mr. Choke as people used to call him in tournaments, because he choked so much. He choked so much that everybody was patting him on the back. He was red in the face for about 6 years worth of tournament play. I'm not even joking. That's literal. That is 6 years of tournament play where he choked nearly every time. 2016 though, all of a sudden he found himself from the Kickoff Cup. And then the March monthly, which was the big one, because we were all touting it as the final, Helping Hands won. He beat Loveness square and even in the final, and it was absolutely epic. He outplayed him, and that was James Helping Hands' big moment.
Yeah.
So maybe
it wasn't even an easy run. It was something like Jove, DevM.
It was ridiculous.
It was like, what the hell? It literally, each match being a word of the phrase, and the finale was just great. I think I just remember going over to his stream after, just crying and stuff. That was a great moment. Like I hope we get to see moments like that here as well, because you know, like people have good chances to shine. We already had loads of it as well. You know, so we've had sad ones like, you know, Jocelyn, whatever. We've also had good ones like GB Hooligan. You
That's
know?
amazing.
Like, exactly, an amazing series. You know, like Tobis and Andre had probably that's one of my favorite series that's happened to the GCS so far.
Definitely.
So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big day, and to lose Hansel Barton, Loveness.Aimstrong, we've already lost Talisman and Theodosios. Like we're going to lose two huge names tomorrow, and then you're just left with this four.
I mean, let's have a quick look. I'm just going to have a quick look at the polls and tell you, to be honest, you'd be surprised by how many people expect Aimstrong, which I really wouldn't expect, to actually win tomorrow. I mean, most people say Loveness to win, but it's really even. Just with his name value and the fear of him as the Co-1 tournament legend per se, back in 2011-12, he was the man. I mean, people expect Loveness, but they also could think Aimstrong. But then when you get to Barton Helping Hands, it's ridiculous. Everybody expects a 3-2 win for either Barton or either Helping Hands. It's like the final of the quarterfinals. Look at that. It's 28% think Barton will win. That's the most popular choice in a 3-2 victory over Helping Hands. Do you realise as well, for the seeding for Barton, do you know we had to take him from 15 seed based on maths to number 6 seed based on what we know of him as a tournament player? It's like he's a different player come tournament. He suddenly plays seriously. And I warned, based on when Price was... he basically threw a game, didn't he, legitimately against LMCTX or something. And I said to Barton, you're not going to do anything silly in tournaments, are you? And he said, no, when there's money on the line, I play seriously.
We saw him play seriously.
He plays seriously.
There's a 1v1 non-meta cup, I think, and he had to go to church.
He does on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, he had to go to church. So suddenly he just cleared up these 5 games, and they were like 5 or 6 minutes each game. Whereas if that wasn't the case,
his mother was like, Bartholomew, you need to go to church now. Oh, for God's sake, okay, let's kill everybody. You got to contend as well. Back in SNF 5, the big tournament win Barton has, do you know he was literally playing on a potato as a computer?
Really?
It was literally like crocodile.
A lot of really good players do, though. You know?
I know, but that's why he's such a great player. He was literally moulded in the fire of Hades or something. He's like got a potato with crocodile clips and little wires coming out of it. That was his computer. Roughly the equivalent of like a late 90s Pentium or something. I don't know. But honestly, he won SNF 5 with that computer. Like probably on like 120 pixels or something.
Yeah.
And then I think he got like an Alienware laptop, and it was like going from that to whatever, you know. I can't wait for tomorrow. It was always the case that today's games we expected to be good, but not quite as hype as tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm down with Dan in Milton Keynes for the weekend. Very much looking forward to tomorrow's matches. Today's were great, but you ain't seen nothing yet, and you can quote me on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Tomorrow's going to be really good. Guys, it's going to be starting tomorrow at 3 p.m. GMT and 4 p.m. BST, 5 p.m. CET?
CEST close?
CEST. Damn
Central European summertime. Very close.
Sorry. Oh, it's the okay. I know. I now get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's going to be the times for that. Guys, be there. It's going to be good. Hopefully, we get to see you guys there for game 1 as well. Stop moving your leg because you're like doing epicenter.
I've got so much energy. I've been sitting still for 5 hours.
Doesn't help. I've got like my hand here.
Oh, that's terrible. Yes, you're excited. If you want to see Dan release a big amount of repression and excitement tomorrow, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it will be good. So guys, be here tomorrow. Remember, tell your friends and family. Get some food. Get some beer. Get your girlfriend involved.
Get homeless people.
Huh?
Round up homeless people and get them to come and watch.
Well, no,
anything you can to more views. We need more IP addresses though.
Yeah. You need to buy them a laptop so that they
and get them a separate IP.
Yeah. Do stuff like that.
Do stuff like that, yeah. If you're feeling benevolent, that's a great idea. Also, go into PC shops and put them onto the stream, and then walk out again. It's another great idea.
Yes.
Go to libraries, put their computers onto the GCS stream.
It's such an excellent idea. Yeah, but I think you got anything else left to say?
Not until tomorrow.
No, guys, if you want to watch any of the games back, or you want to watch any of the games, the rest of the games from this series, of which there have been some brilliant ones, go over to AE's YouTube. It's YouTube for youtube.com/AECOH.
That's insane.
That is, yep. And guys, thank you very much for all the follows. I've seen a couple of subscriptions and donations. It's super helpful and super appreciated. We hope you're enjoying the tournament. We hope you're enjoying the casting. Also, give some huge love to the players, because they really do put like a hell of a lot of effort in to giving us good games and good content for this kind of thing. So thanks very much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And yeah.
See ya. Down. He's going in for the flanking push. Raketin versus in that centre pass does not matter. M4C Sherman's going for the Osman. The T70 is going to try and get rid of Raketin. Here comes the Krautmo, the M5 half track with the quad mount. Everything's going wrong for Burmy very quickly.
T-3485 to the left, whilst all of the infantry was seemingly on the mid to right. Yaktig is going to try and get some shots off, and it does. Actually connects again. T-3476 doesn't. King Tiger easily going to be able to deal with the situation, and now he's going for the rear armour, trying to maybe block it in so the AT gun can also get some work. That looks like a successful block.
It's all kinds of fears coming in. The Sherman's in an ambush position. He's going to get that rear armor facing. SU-85 is about to go down. Tiger's getting done down by the Sherman though, as the Stuka rains fire from above. What an armor confrontation. It looks likely that Aimstrong's come out highly on top here. All 3 vehicles down for Hooligan. Aimstrong reigning supreme through the centre.
They're going to try and get it. Havoc just doesn't know how to do this. The King Tiger's parked in the centre. There's no way round. He just has to take it from the front. Good counterplay from Tobestone. Gets the Faust on the T-3485. Here comes the Raketin. He's going to get a shot off. That's the penetration.
Yeah, bounce! I came there for no problem with it. I got the Panther. Pershing goes down to chant Panther down. He's sitting up there. Everything is blowing apart. Everything's going kaboom.
Shouldn't do, or should he?
He gets it! He gets it
with the Ziscon! Holy crap!
Oh.